Hey guys, we are outside Greenford Test Centre today. Somebody requested this in the comments, so here I am. We're gonna do a test route, and I'm gonna talk you through what you need to do as you're driving through the test so you can pass. So let's get started. First of all, you want to put your seatbelt on, and the examiner will tell you to drive on when you're ready, which means get your engine started. Make sure you know where your keys are. If your instructor has the keys, make sure they haven't gone away, because if you haven't got your keys, you can't start the test. So in this car, I need to put my clutch all the way down and then turn the key until the engine turns on. Then I'm ready to go. So now I need to get the car ready to move. So clutch down, into first gear, have a look around. So I'm parked in the middle of, on the left side, so I'll start on the left, finishing over to the right. There are quite a few people near me. There's that person with the door open, so I'm going to let them know that I'm coming out by putting a signal on. There's also a car coming from behind me as well, so I'm not going to rush to go in front of them. I'll keep waiting. When you're in this position, look out for any movement in your mirror, in your rear view mirror. That's when you can spot things early before you make a mistake. So I'll check again, because I've been here for a while. It's looking good. Then I'll come out slowly towards the right while checking this mirror, and we're off. So it still looks quite busy here. It's very narrow. I might even just go back into first, because 2 at the moment is a bit fast for this section. So I'm keeping it first. We're going to turn right at the end of the road. So I'm going to check my center mirror, right mirror, signal right, and then check both sides here. We're lucky that this side is clear at the moment. Normally it's really busy here and there's lots of parked cars, but now I can see it's clear, so I can come out slowly. And this is the 20-mile-an-hour section. The test center is just there, by the way. But you have to park on the main road. There's no car park in Greenford. So now I'm just going to keep it nice and smooth, because it's got a speed bump and a zebra crossing here. So bearing in mind it's 20 miles an hour. My mirror on the left is a little bit high, so I can just adjust it. If you're not comfortable doing this, stop somewhere and do it. But if you can do it quickly like that without causing any issues with your driving, then that's fine. Here I'm going to pull up on the left. So after the road there, I can signal left. Stop nicely, just like that. Handbrake on, neutral, and then cancel my signal. Now, sometimes you actually start doing the independent driving from here. So let's do that. We're going to follow signs for... We're going to turn left at the end of the road and then follow signs for Rainer's Lane. So that's what we're going to do. So, get into first gear. So remember, on the independent section, if you're not sure where you're going, just ask the examiner and they will tell you. As I'm looking around, I can see a cyclist in the distance. I'm not exactly sure how far it is, so I'm not going to come out in front of him. If you're not sure, just wait. There's no point risking it. And then this person's looking like they want to park here, so it might be easier if I come out first, but I think they're gonna go in there first. It would have been easier if I came out before them. So I'm just gonna keep checking. This person's letting me come out. Thank you. I'll just come out slowly. And so remember, we're turning left and then following signs for Rainer's Lane. So mirror, mirror, signal left. And another sign telling us it's 20 miles an hour. And I'm gonna go into first. This is a very steep hill here, but it's looking clear, so I can go into first and then move off in first and make the turn in first, because it was quite steep. If I tried that in second, it wouldn't have worked. So bear in mind, it's 20 miles an hour still. So it looks like a bigger road, a faster road, but it's not. It's still 20 miles an hour. And there's plenty of space to go around this cyclist, but I don't want to break the speed limit to go around it. So I'm going to check my mirror and give me plenty of room, still within the speed limit. Check the left again. So now I'm looking for signs for Rainer's Lane. So if you look at the signs here, it's saying we can go straight to go Rainer's Lane. So usually the left lane is to go straight, and here we've got 3 lanes, but we've got a sign telling us we can use the left or the middle. So I'm going to opt for the left lane and get into first, so that if the lights change straight away, I can move straight away. But they're still red, so I can go into neutral. Remember, you don't have to do this. You can stay in first if you want to, but I'll go into neutral and wait for the lights to change. And while I'm waiting here, so I'm looking for any other traffic that are near me. So there's a lorry behind us here. He's kind of taken up both lanes. So I need to be aware of that because he's going straight as well potentially. Checking his mirror or his signal to see where he's going. It looks like he's going straight as well. The van is still going straight. He hasn't signaled. Because sometimes people signal late to turn. So we've got that cyclist again. So I'm just going to go into this lane to go around him. And then the lane, I saw the arrows afterwards that the lane's coming into this, merging together into one. And we're off. So down this hill now, I'm going to use my brake to control my speed because I don't want it to go over 20 miles an hour. It's easy to go over 20 miles an hour if you're not careful when it's going downhill. So you still need to control it. You can't use the hill as an excuse to speed. And then now it's starting to level out a bit so I can use a bit of gas to maintain 20 miles an hour. There's a car poking out from the left there. So I'm just going to be aware that they might come out just like that. So on a lot of these roads that are 20 miles an hour, you're going to get signs that repeat the speed limit. So you see 20 there, 20 there, on the floor as well. But if you're not sure what the speed limit is, or if you're finding it difficult to identify the speed limit, practice on your lessons saying the speed limit out loud. So every speed limit sign that you see, say it out loud, and that way you're going to get much better at seeing speed limit signs when they come about. But when it's like this, it's nice and easy because they're everywhere. Got a traffic light coming up ahead. Looks like it might be a pedestrian crossing, and it's going to green now. And then ahead of that is a roundabout. So I can see there's no right on the roundabout, but there are cars coming from ahead. And I'm looking at their signal, but even if their signal now, it's quite far away, this guy. So I don't need to worry about him too much because he wasn't that close to us. So I'm trying to remember what we were going, Raiders Lane. And if you're not sure, just ask the examiner. Say, where was it again? Which way we're going? Raiders Lane. Okay. So I can see a sign there. When I get closer, I'm going to look to see where Raiders Lane is. And it's straight second exit. So if it's straight second exit, I'm going to aim to be in the left lane if there are two lanes here. Because I want to go around like this, keeping to the left. So I'm checking the right from early. It's looking good. So I've got no signal on, so this person behind me should know that I'm going straight. But I'm keeping an eye on them in case they try to overtake me in a bad place. And then I can signal left. And that's done. So you want to keep an eye on the drivers behind you because sometimes they'll try to go around you in a place that's not that good, where it's like really narrow. Still following signs for Raiders Lane, and this roundabout looks like a straight second exit again. And we've got a cyclist ahead. So I'm checking the right from early. See those cars are indicating to turn. This van as well, and the car is quite far away, so I can keep moving. And once I get here, I can signal left. I'm not sure what time the bus lane is because it's covered by that tree there, so I'm not going to use it. And it's 7 till 10 a.m. and it's between 4 and 7, so I can use it. But here the examiner might say follow signs for Harrow, and if you see the sign for Harrow is to this side, so I'm going to keep to the right hand lane so that I can follow signs for Harrow. Approaching this nice and slowly because we've got traffic building up here, and they're moving off, so I can then carry on in second gear. I was thinking about changing into first. If those guys took long to move, I was going to go into first, but they moved off before I got to them, so I can keep in second. And then here, I don't know how long these lights are going to take. It might be quick, so I've got my gear ready, I've got my clutch down, handbrake on. Once it goes to amber, I'm going to bring my gas on and then bring the clutch to the biting point and move off with the handbrake down. So like that, handbrake down, gas, clutch to the biting point, and we're off. does it. So I didn't see any signs saying 30 miles an hour, but right now I think this is the 30 mile an hour because I can't see any other speed limit signs on the road, and I can see street lights, so I'm gonna go a bit quicker. Sometimes if you're going a bit quicker than 20 and it's a 20 mile an hour, the examiner might just say to you, oh, by the way, this is a 20 mile an hour zone, just to remind you. But if you go straight away to 30, then it's going to be a serious fault. So there might be a way to kind of test out if it's the right speed or not. Just go a bit faster, and if it's the wrong speed limit, they'll tell you. Not always though, so be careful with that technique. But right now, I'm guessing it's a 30 here because there's no other speed limit signs, and we've got lots of street lamps as well. Got a bus up ahead. I'm just going to slow it down a bit. I'm keeping an eye on his signal. I'm also keeping an eye on the people coming off the bus as well. Check my right mirror because he's still signalling left, so I'm going to go past him. I don't need to signal right there to go around him, because if I did, people are going to think I'm going down that road there, which is misleading. So when you're going around buses, you don't need to signal right to go around them. In the distance I can see traffic is slowing down, coming to a stop. So I'm just going to reduce my speed gradually. Got red light in the distance. We're by a high street now, so it's going to be quite busy. I'm going to go into first as I approach this traffic jam. Keeping my distance between me and this car there. Then once they start moving, I'm just going to follow them gradually. You notice I'm not trying to like go really fast and try to keep up with that right behind them. Just giving them plenty of space. And then stopping here. Handbrake on. So you don't have to always use a handbrake. You can just secure your car with the brake if you want to, especially if there's like stop start traffic. But if you feel like using handbrake, then do it if it's more secure for you. So after this pedestrian crossing, we've got another a roundabout. I'm just making sure that there's space before I go forward, which there is. Checking the right on the roundabout is looking good, and this person decided to go in front of me, and that's okay because they didn't interfere with my drive, so I'm not going to get too annoyed. So if I look around this way, I can see traffic is going slowly here. So it's good to look in the distance whenever you're doing drives, but the more information you have about what's going on up ahead, the easier it is for you to drive. So like now I can see in the distance the traffic light is turning red. There's no need for me to rush over there because it's a red light. And then going through. No rush. Following signs for Harrow, remember, but what we're actually going to do, we're going to turn left at the roundabout coming up so we can do some parking. So we're going to turn left first exit, so check my centre mirror, left mirror, signal left. I'm looking out for any traffic from my head over there that's coming to turn this way, but it looks like no one's doing that. So then I can make my turn, double checking again, cancel my signal. At this roundabout we're going to turn right, so I'm going to position myself in the right hand lane, checking the right side again. It's looking completely empty, so I don't need to worry too much, and because it's the car park I'm going to go into first gear so I can go nice and slowly. It says 5 miles an hour there, but it's really difficult to do 5 miles an hour, so if you go a little bit over I wouldn't stress too much. Okay, this car park has changed since last time I was here. So there used to be buildings up there, but now they've knocked them down. So normally here there'll be lots of parking spaces, but we're gonna try find one where we can park. So the examiner will say something like, I'd like you to do a forward bay park using any bay, or even a reverse bay park, but let's do a forward one. Now with the forward one, you want to find a space that's got maybe 2 spaces available. That way it's a lot easier. So we're going to park next to that Mercedes, the blue one there, and I want to park on this bay closest to it. So I've signaled and I'm keeping wide, checking this car behind me, and I'll turn in sharply like that. The reason this one's easier because you can judge how far you are from this line, and you can get pretty close to this car, and then that way you know you're going to be in the bay. And then handbrake on, and I can just check my mirror, it looks good. I can even open my door, have a look at the line, it's looking good. And if I was really unsure, I can come out and check. But now the next stage is to reverse back out till we're facing that way. So I'm going to get into reverse, look around, looking through the windows of those cars next to me, so I can look out for any movement through there. Looking behind me as well. I'm going to start turning towards the right because that's where I want the car to go. Checking all around, keeping it nice and slow the whole time. And once I get to like here, I can then drive on. Looking around again before I move. There's someone behind me. There's flying ants today. Just move that off my arm. If an insect comes in your cars, I was teaching my brother one time and a bee came in the car and he panicked. Try not to panic because obviously you're the driver, and if you panic and lose control, it could be in a serious situation. Here we're going to turn left. So signal, checking the right, it's looking good. And we're going to follow signs for Harrow again, which is to the left, first exit this roundabout. So mirror, mirror, signal left. So there's a bus coming from there and a van. After he's gone, I can start moving because there was nothing else. Well, the other vehicles are far away, so I don't need to worry about them. There's a bus lane up there which says 7 till 7, so that's warning us that further down there's a bus lane, so I'm not going to go into it. I'll keep to the right for now. And the sign for Harrow is saying straight, so we've got a left, we've got a right, and we've got a straight. So I know I want to go straight. Usually to go straight, use the left lane. And I can see these people here are edging towards the left just after the bus lane. It's probably because they want to go straight as well. And the bus is moving forward, both of them are moving forward. So if I do want to go into the left lane, it might be tricky for me. And now that I can see the lanes properly, I do need to go into the left lane, so I'm going to signal, let this bus driver know what I want to do. And there's a bit of space there. Cancel my signal now so everyone knows that I'm going straight, because this sign is telling us that this lane's for going straight to Harrow, and then the other lanes are going somewhere else, Harrow on the hill. Keep an eye on this bus, making sure I don't get too close to him, because if I do, he might stop at a bus stop and I'll get stuck behind him. And then also here, you see, he's gonna wait for that bus there. So when you're behind them as well, if you give yourself plenty of space, you can see what's going on around them, and then that way, whatever they do, you can kind of predict it. So I could see that bus was coming around the corner, which meant that this bus had to slow down because there's not much space there. And then that gave me time to do what I need to do to make it safe. Zebra crossing, looking clear. So right now I'm not doing 30 miles an hour because the bus in front of me, they're not doing 30 miles an hour either. If I was to do 30 miles an hour right now, I would catch up with them very quickly. But I'm in third gear. Third gear is nice for this sort of speed. Got a roundabout. Okay, this guy's pulling over now, so I'm gonna go into second gear so I can deal with this nicely, just to slow down a bit, give myself time and to judge what's going on in that space there. And here we're gonna turn right at this roundabout. So this roundabout is a bit weird because for some people it looks like it's straight, and for some people it looks like it's right. So I'm going to treat it as a right. I'm going to check my mirrors and signal right, because the arrows on the floor say straight, but if it was straight, to me it would be going straight towards that building there, but we're going over that way. So I'm going to signal right, that way people know I'm going towards this side. I'm going to go a bit over the roundabout actually. I know it sounds weird, but that lane is also going this way. So I'm going to keep this lane for now. So normally I'd go back to the left, but here the examiner will say follow sign for Wembley, which is to the right at the next roundabout. So I'm going to check my mirrors, signal right. I'm already in the correct lane. Getting second gear as I approach it. Checking the roundabout. That car is not moving yet, so I can start going to the roundabout. These cars on the left, and I have to wait for us. Then I can signal left, let them know that I'm coming off. Check the mirrors both sides, and that roundabout is done. Traffic's going slow because there's a temporary light up ahead. So I'll go into second because they're creeping forward slowly. We'll stop here. So there's quite some loud construction going on the left, so don't mind that, guys. So from where I am now, I can see the light is still red, the temporary light. So we're not going to go anywhere for now, which is why I put my car into neutral, put my handbrake on. Then I can just rest my feet for a bit, relax. So until that light changes, we're definitely not going anywhere. So now it's changing. Start getting ready. Get my car into first. Hit the biting point. Handbrake down. Put a bit of gas on. Because we need to go to the right. I'm going to check my mirror on the right. Because we have to go this side anyway to go past this light. You don't want to go to the right too early, but if you see people, and especially behind you, they're about to go around you as well, it might be worth just positioning yourself to the right so that they know you're going to the right. You're going around that traffic light as well. So now we're by Harrow on the Hill College. Going uphill. Keeping it in second for now because I don't want to change to third too soon. Especially going uphill will struggle. Now I can go into third. Traffic light is green, but it might change as we approach it, so I'm not going to add too much gas. Checking my mirror in case I need to stop. Then now that I'm here, I can carry on. But there's two lanes going into one, so I'm going to check this mirror as they merge together. As we can find it. We're still following signs for Wembley. So I'm just braking a bit because we're going downhill now. Following signs for Wembley. I'm looking for the signs. The first sign is already talking about the hospital, but then the next one is saying Wembley is to the right, third exit. It's a little bit hidden by the lamppost, but I can see now it's to the right, third exit. So I'm going to keep to the right hand lane. Signal right. Getting to second on the approach, but it looks busy, so I'll probably go into first as I get there. Just keeping a distance to me and this car here. So while I'm here, I'm looking to that side as well. I'm not just like sitting here looking over there. I'm looking here to see what's happening. What pattern is there? When is this guy gonna go? When can he go? Yeah. So when you're here, don't just look in one place. Look at the whole picture to see what's going on. So like now he's gone. I'm waiting for my turn to go. This car is quite close, but after him, there's nothing else that's near me, so I can start moving. Keep my signal on. They have a little altercation there, nothing to do with me, so I can carry on. Get into this lane now. I want to be in this lane here. So the lane I was in took us to this lane. I'll keep my signal on. So now these cars on the left, they should wait. And then I can signal left now because I've gone past the other exit. And then this lane is separate, so I don't want to be crossing over that side. because if I do, I could end up going into the lane of those cars that are coming onto the roundabout. And I can see there's a sign there telling us that that lane there is going to be closed off. There's a car next to me trying to go around. I don't know what he's doing. Okay, I guess there was space there. They said that lane was closed, but it wasn't closed. It was just narrow. So that was a bit of a misleading sign. I thought that car was going to have to slow down and stop, but they didn't, because there was enough space. But you want to be aware of those kind of things. So even there was a sign telling us that the lane was finishing on that side. They should really put a narrow lane sign there. I'm avoiding this bus lane, but now I need to go back to the left, so check my mirror, because this lane is closed off. And I've got signs telling us it's 30 miles an hour. So okay, carry on. Getting into third because I'm doing over 20 miles an hour now. So now that's the end of the independent driving. We're not doing independent driving anymore. The examiner will tell you now, turn for turn, which way to go. So the next roundabout, we're going straight, second exit. So I'm keeping to the left to do that. Gearing down to second. I'm checking the roundabout early. I'm also checking these guys to see what they're doing. So this car should keep moving because there's nothing else after that car over there. And then I'll check as well from when it's my turn. It's looking good. Keeping to the left. Signal left. There's a guy waiting to cross the road over there, but he should wait for us to go past first. And then carry on. Still 30 miles an hour. Haven't seen any signs saying otherwise. So I see a person, I don't know if they were hailing the bus, but something's going on just over there. I think they are calling the bus, so I don't know if it's a bus stop or not. So just keeping it nice and slow so I can assess what's going on. I'm not going to be in a rush to go around, but I'll check my mirror. The bus is still indicating left, so I can go around. Oh, it's a bus stop. This one here has got its hazard lights on. So when I got there, I couldn't see if it was indicating to come out or not until I got a bit closer. So I kept it slow. When I got closer, I realised it hazard lights on. Then I can carry on going past it. So sometimes you won't know until you get really close which way they're going. I'm still going straight here, so I'm looking at the floor markings. The one on the left is only for left, so I'm keeping this side here. The light is still green, but I'm just slowing it down in case it changes. But once I get here, even if it changes, I'll still carry on. I've got to the point of no return. So a cyclist just joined the road, but then we've also got these cars coming into this lane to go around that bus. And now we see a 20 mile an hour sign letting us know that this road is now 20. I'm not going to be in a rush to go around this bus. The space is not that much. I want to let people know what I'm doing first by positioning myself like this, and then that way those other cars would have started moving a bit towards this way. But by the time they started doing that, this bus already indicated to come out, so there's no point in me going past them then. But by positioning like that, it let other drivers know that I intend to go around, and then they started moving a bit towards the left, which meant I had more space. Even though I had more space, the bus already indicated to come out, so keep an eye on that as well. Before you go around the bus, the main thing you want to be looking at is, one, do you have enough space without cutting anybody up? And two, are they not indicating? If they're indicating to come out, then wait for them. Check both mirrors before I move. You notice that I stopped quite far away because there's a box junction in the road, so I didn't want to stop in the box. So bus is pulling over, keeping it nice and slow, checking my mirror, then I can go around the bus because it's still indicating left. Check my left mirror to go back to the left, and at this roundabout we're going left. I'm going to check my mirrors, signal. This guy is turning, so it's indicator on, and it's got that speaker telling you this vehicle is turning left, which is very helpful. I guess that's more for cyclists, but I found that useful just there for myself as well because I heard it. Lady just pressed the button there for the pedestrian crossing, so it might change soon, but once I get here it's still green, so then I can carry on. And then at this roundabout we're going to turn right, third exit, so 1, 2, 3. So mirror, let me get a bit closer first, don't want to signal too soon. Mirror, mirror, signal right. Checking the right from early. Once I get here, this bush is getting in the way a bit, so I'm just keeping checking, slowing it down, checking again, and it's looking good. But I can carry on now. Keeping my signal on, so that's 1, 2, and then after the second one, I'm going to start moving a bit towards the left as well, and signal left. So now I'm in the left lane. It's easier for me to come off, checking this mirror as well, making sure no one's trying to come off with me because there's not enough space for 2 cars there. Cancelling my signal. Saw the speed limit there was 20 miles an hour, and then here's a very narrow road, so I'm going straight into the middle of the road because I don't want to be driving on the left too close to these parked cars. There's not enough space to do that. And here I'm going to go into first because it's a very, very narrow width restriction. Checking both sides, and I'm good to go. If I was really stuck there, let's say I can see my mirror is about to hit one of the poles there, I can actually stop, bring my mirror in, and then carry on again. Here I'm going to stretch my neck a bit so I can see over the hill a bit more because it's really hilly there, so you can't see over. Again, I'm going to go into first, so I'll show you what I mean, what I was talking about earlier. So let's say now I'm driving through, but then at the last second I realise I'm a bit close. I can bring my mirror in like that, and then afterwards push it out again, so that way I don't scratch my mirror. Only do that if you need to, if you realise you're about to hit it. Otherwise, just drive through. And then at the end of this road, we're going to be turning right. So mirror, mirror, signal right. Another sign telling us it's still 20 miles an hour. Checking both sides, it's looking good. Come out. Cancel my signal. Well, the signal cancelled itself there because of the turn that I did. Car in the middle of the road trying to join the traffic there, so I'm just going to slow down, give them time to do that. I think they're turning all the way around actually, so I'll give them even more time. Going to first gear, maybe parking. We're just getting out of the way. And the taxi is about to go around me. Sometimes people behind you might be a bit impatient, but that's okay. If they're going to go around you, let them go around you. But I already started moving anyway, then he went back behind me, so that was fine. But just be aware that they're doing that. Don't just drive off without knowing what's going on around you. And here we're going to turn left first exit. So mirror, mirror, signal left. Still 20 miles an hour. There's a car on the left there, but he's got his left signal on the right, so he's got his left signal on, so which means we're turning left. cancel my signal. Braking, this is a very steep hill down here. I'm just controlling it by using the brake. Got a meeting situation with these two cars, so I'm just going to let them know that I'm going to give them some space. There's a van coming down the road as well. There's no point me going into that space there. I'm already in a good space for everyone to go around me, so there's no point me going into that space. And unless they're really far away, then I'd go forward. But like here, I just waited, check my mirror, then move on again. That way it's a lot easier for everyone. And then this road bends sharply towards the right. Yeah, that's a new road over there. This road that we're on right now goes this way. And if you're not paying attention, it's very easy to miss which way you're supposed to go, because you see there's lines on the road. That's telling us the new road. So this one goes towards the right. I'm just going to press my clutch down a bit because it's rumbling. Now I can ease off, but still braking because I don't know if you can tell from the video, but it's very steep here. If I let go of the brake, see the car starts picking up lots of speed. So I need to brake gently over the speed bump. Brake gently again, and then we're going to pull over on the left. So around here there's not many places you can stop without blocking a driveway. I think I found one, but if you do block a driveway, most of the time the examiner will tell you don't worry about it, it's not going to take too long anyway. And then if the resident comes out, you can just move the car and we'll stop there. So if you're coming here by yourself or with somebody who's not an instructor, just make sure when you're leaving your car parked here, don't both of you go to the test center. One of you guys stay here in case you need to move the car, because residents don't like it when you block their driveway. So once you get back to the test center, like now, the examiner will tell you, well done, you passed, and then they'll write you a certificate, say that you passed, and you can be on the roads. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what other test centers you want me to do, and I'll try to do them for you. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.